Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Australian report for Monday, January the 31st, starting with the ASX on the weekly chart here. The horizontal line through here is the 38.2% retracement level that we're looking for this wave 4. So I don't think we're quite there just yet in all of this. Okay, so we're looking at this as an A wave, a B wave and a C wave. You can always look at it a little bit differently as well, but it doesn't really matter. We're kind of getting there to where we need to be. We don't have a weekly stochastics setup like these here, but give it a little bit of time and I think that should fall into place. Let's have a look at the daily chart here. So from wave B down to wave C, we're looking for 5 waves, so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So we're in this wave 4 rally that can pull back to the wave 4 one lesser degree or the 38.2% retracement level. So in this case we can see that it's just here. So we don't really want to get a nice big solid support on top of the 7,000 at that point. So we'll just be a little bit careful about that. And yeah, I think we're on track here. We need to be careful that I haven't miscounted here and we have a low in place. So let's cruise in, have a look. So from wave B, we've got wave 1 and 2 here. Is that 2? Now I have to have a look to see if I've made mistakes. I mean, it does make a nice A, B and C, this wave there, and that's okay. That's okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I feel okay about it. I mean, just some of the US stocks like Apple are sort of zooming off, you know. A lot of the US stocks, well, Apple's leading, so from the top to the bottom here, it's up, you know, to its 50-60% retracement level. Meta platforms, Facebook are sticking to its lows down here as a wave 4, so it's okay. So a bit of a mixed bag in all of this. So we just need to be a little bit careful. But so what we can do here is we can look at this wave 4. You can get that a bit more accurate. So it is that top there. That's the wave 4 of the previous trend. So we need to take that on board and we need to take that one because that basically becomes our kind of swim between the flags sort of area for that. And yeah, we want this blue wave 4 to be bigger and take longer than the previous wave 4 of one lesser degree, the same as this one, the green one was bigger than the previous one. So we're kind of getting there in terms of time and all those sort of things. So let's see how we go with all of this. We need to put that there and don't need that. So that's what we're looking at in a nutshell. Let's have a closer look at that pattern with an hourly chart. Yeah, so if this is correct, then as a wave B here, as an A wave, a B wave and a C wave here, we should see 5 waves up here taking us to this height. Let's just drill in a little bit closer on these. I mean, that looks a little bit impulsive rather for a B wave, unless I go an A and a B, an A, B, C. The A wave, I mean an A wave here, then an A, B, C that way. That's possible. I don't really have 5 waves up here when I look at the tick chart, which we will have a look at next. But just to get a bit of clarity on this, in a wave from this low here, we're looking for an impulse wave to the upside. So 1 and 2 and we'll call this wave 3 and 4 across the top and this level, and then wave 5 up here, and then we'd want it to lock under here and sort of move on down. It'll be something like this, and then we're finished at that point. So what I mean, just sort of preempting mistakes is that looking at some of the stocks in the US is that, and also CBA as well, by the way, that we can have a low in place over here. So it's probably not the case, but I think if there's a time to sort of consider it, then this would be it. So we would need to understand at what point I would be wrong, and then we can be aware of that. So in that case, if we track 5 waves from B to C here, these 5 waves here, well then really anything above that we can look to go long on. So that means in a way we could look at a nice classic trading levels pattern because that 7,100, that would be, 1 is the strongest number, and we can see that it carries weight here. So if it became the support, then that would sort of gee us up a little bit to look at being long at that point, So that would be the safe long trade at this point. So let's just go in and have a little look at this. Let's just put that there. Alrighty, let's looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for a third wave here, and then this fourth wave can pull back to the fourth wave of 1 lesser degree, and then the fifth wave, the length of this here can be up here for the 7,000. That would be the 5, and that would just make 3 at that point. So yeah, a little bit tricky. And then wave 5 up here. So the length of this wave 5 should be roughly the length there. So that will take us up there. Let's just say it goes. Let's just put it up at the 1 there. Probably won't go that high, but still, So that would be 3, 4, 5 roughly, some sort of ABC pattern back here, and then wave 5 up here. We'll be struggling at that point. So yeah, so as I mentioned, that support, that first high above the level here will be our reference point to go long at that point. We'll get a better setup than that. And even when this comes back down, even if it doesn't reach up here, we should get some sort of pattern like that could build into an impulse wave to the downside. But it will be that second high there that we can go long on. Let's just get a bit more data in here for this. So I'm happy with the C wave here. The B wave, that looks 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks a bit impulsive, but if I use that as an A and a B and a C, or an A, B, C, that kind of works. I just got to be careful that's not impulsive, because that. But coming back over here as well for this, let me just double check this here. I mean, I just hope I don't get sort of like wave 1 here and 2 here and 3 here and 4 here and 5 here for wave 1 and back for wave 2 over here. I mean, it doesn't look right, but yeah, look, all I can say, if I've got this wrong, if we get a classic trading levels pattern on 7-1, then I'm wrong, and then we need to be long at that point. But coming up here for a session or two, obviously you can trade long today, but Jack be nimble, Jack be quick, otherwise you'll burn yourself. So yeah, let's you know, be long, but don't overtrade, just make it really small, and let's just give it a session or two, and let's just see if we get support up there, or we're pulling back down in this way. And of course, if we do pull back down through here, then, you know, that's where the setup for the banks will be. But looking at the banks, let's just have a look at Commonwealth Bank. So there was a couple of things I wanted to talk about here, of course, is that first of all, I can count 5 waves on the tick chart down to here. So it's possible to put wave C here and be finished, and we can just go straight up from this point. We could also just go up 50-60% and go down again. So we could also, if I just copy this and put wave C here, because this is the box here, excuse me, we may just rally somewhere in there. We may rally to the box and then drop at that point. So the safe trade really is with the classic trading levels pattern above the 100. You know, that's the normal thing for us anyway, isn't it? You know, we get the first high above the level, even though we had this one, and it got really complicated in here, and I couldn't really make heads or tails with enough clarity to say much of anything of value. But we do have this move now below the level. So if I put my trading hat on, then, you know, then I would look for this classic trading levels pattern here, and that's my edge in the market. I know that this pattern is reasonably successful, so, you know, most of the time it will keep me safe and give me a high probability of a winning trade. I mean, how much is the, you know, the question. I mean, the normal thing is, you know, you do 10 trades, and if you're half good, you'll get I mean, even getting half of your trades right consistently is you know, you get a pat on the back for that. But out of those 5 winning trades and 5 losing trades, if you can keep your 5 winning trades, or losing trades rather, at a 1% loss of capital, and then your 5 winning trades, well, you know, they're not all going to be fantastic winners, are they? I mean, one will break even, or some will make a bit of money, but basically, you know, 2 of them will run reasonably well, and that's where you make your money, you know. So yeah, that's where we are. So is that, I mean, it's just tipped the low out here. I can count 5 waves here, and we'll look at that, but do we you know, do we call that in? This is just the other, we can look at it as wave 4, but I kind of prefer them as wave 2. Let's see. So this would be wave 1 here and wave 2 here in that case. But let's just go, there's a couple of things we need to do here. Let's go to the tick chart first. Where are we? 100 ticks and a bit more data. Alright, we counted down for the A wave, and then we looked at the B wave, so we don't need that, but I could use that over here. So I haven't really updated it, but we can do that now. So that's going to be the 3rd wave. Don't need to copy anymore, we can have that. That was the 38.2% retracement level. This would be, I actually want to move that to here, and I thought we had a wave 5, there we go. Wave 5 of C, so we just nipped the bottom out here, you know. So we need, I mean, it's not that deep, but I need that. Just going to line the load over here. I don't need these guys. So do we call that in as the low, or do we look at, or do we have to look at it as wave one for the next move down? That's what we need to move through, which would take the ASX a bit lower at that point. So that's interesting. And I mean, you know, I mean, there's the Ukraine-Russia situation as well. That could just sort of spark a little third wave down here for that kind of thing, and then, you know, I mean, it won't be a long war. It'll only be, as they say, 7 to 10 minutes for the first phase anyway. So do we have that low in, or don't we? And the situation here too would be, not that one, sorry, this would be the A wave in here somewhere, and the or wave one, and a B wave and a C wave here. So look, I think that, you know, you could go long if you wanted to. Let's just have a little look at this here. This is probably 1 and 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for fourth, and this would be the, so we'll see. I don't know, I mean, we'll get something probably like this. I just don't know if we should be going long or not, you know, if it's a trap for young players and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, well, that's it. So we need to, this is the next thing that we need to resolve really. Is this wave C low and that's the end of it? Or is all of this just down for wave one and we have an ABC back for wave two? I won't know, but we will be looking to go long, you know, with a proper move up here for all of that. We can do that at that point. I mean, once we get the B wave here, then all we need to do is count 5 waves for the C wave. Easier said than done with this one, but we'll just see how that plays out. And anything above that C wave, then we can look to go long at that point. So what we could do at the end of the day is get a small position below the level and then one above the level, and then build in over here if that's going to be the case. But otherwise we also need to prepare for the short as well, because if we're going down for a third wave, well, we want some of that action. So there we go. Can wave C be that short? Yep. Okay, so one other little job we need to do in here is go to the weekly chart and do the robo thing that we had in there. We need to finish that off. I thought that I must have got the days mixed up, or the weeks mixed up really for this, but because last week I should have brought it down to this one. No wonder. Yeah, but look, there wasn't a great interest in this trade, so I'll just finish it off there. We didn't get down to a target where we're going to take profit at the 90. It's didn't get down there, so this is it. So I'm putting the stop just above this current high here, which will be triggered today. So we had a small profit on this one. Maybe we'll have another go if the market takes off here, because we can turn it in from, we could start it off from a daily point of view in managing the risk, and then move it to a weekly, and then we may be able to move it to a monthly. That could help. Alrighty, that's a long-winded journey on those two. So the resources. So we normally look at iron ore, which is pushed higher, which is fantastic. It's really cranking up there. Now, the people building our website are in China, and so I got a message saying that they're going on holiday, so that Chinese New Year is there for a week. This also looks like 1 and 2 in here and 3 here, so it looks like we're sort of really powering off on here. So that's going to be fantastic for the BHPs of the world. But this is also probably going on holiday. So being a futures contract, even though it's in China, it might just continue to trade. I'm not sure about that, but we'll soon see. With that in mind, let's go to our US BHP first, because we've been looking at counting it up as from the low here as wave 1 and 2, or an A and a B and a C wave here. If it's going to be a C wave here, then that's the top here. So we need to be gathering information here for this. So look, as far as I can see so far, I mean, I can count this here as 1, 2, 3, 4. I can count that there as impulsive and that as impulsive. I'm not sure what this is. So I don't know if we should go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1 and back for 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, and then an A and a B and a C, and we push up. I mean, you would think with China being up that would move up. So I don't know. We could also put wave 4 over here for this. I don't know. I think that we're on the right track though, because we're seeing I think it's Rio pushing higher, you know, into its wave 4 there. So what I might just do is go to Rio first. Yeah, you see how Rio's pushing up here nicely? So I've been looking at this as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for 1 and 2, and then the third wave here and 4th and 5th. So it looks like here that we may be getting that 5-wave structure there. So Rio sort of leading in that regard, and I'm looking at over here as an A wave, a B wave and a C wave. So I really need to adjust all of this, but I had it at a primary degree, but I think I really need to put that there as wave 1. Not that it's a big issue at this stage. Wave 2 back here. So this is what we're playing for. But even so, we still need to get wave 1 up here, and don't think that you're missing anything, because we're gonna get it back over here and across here, and you know, all those sorts of things. So you know, just because it's pushing up here, we're not finished with it yet. And yes, it may push up a little bit higher from this as well. Probably will actually, so I should just clean this up, because otherwise it'll lead you astray. But the 61.8% area may stop it a bit, but if it doesn't, it will be this high over here for this, coming into this old high. We'll have more power there. So what we can look for here, this is probably 1 and 2, and then we'll see 3 and 4 and 5 coming in here. So we'll see something up here a bit higher. Something like that. But looking really good. So you can go along, you see the nice volume coming in here, and everything's like looking pretty rosy at that point, isn't it? You know. Okay, so that takes back to BHP. So back at BHP here. Oops, that's gold, sorry. And BHP here. So yeah, so we were looking at wave 4 there. We still need to look at wave B of C at this particular point. I don't think that's the case, so I think we can just about, actually I don't want to dull that one out. I'll just dull that one out, because I can put this one back over here for that. I'll need that a bit later. So yeah, that's looking it's looking more bullish than what's the name, but also volume coming in here too. I don't know what all that's, because they're coming offline, aren't they, from the UK. I wonder if they curb traded that volume, because it's not really showing up there, is it? Well, I don't know how they did that. Doesn't really matter at this point. Nothing's really changed for us. So we're looking at wave 1 here with an A and a B wave over here, and down for the wave C here at this point. So that's how that's looking. And FMG, I did take another look at this as well. So this is the bigger picture here. So wave 1 here, wave 2 here, and then wave 1 and 2 here, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1, and A, B, C back for 2. Now that's a bit of a long shot, what I've just done then. We'll see how it goes. But it does give me my 1 and 2 at this point. So what we need to do here is we need to understand this 1 and 2 here, and you know, it's not going to go over. Look, it's at the 20 here. It's hitting supply back here again. So we've got this as the A wave and the B wave here and the C wave here, a bit sharp. So yeah, there's a bit of a concern. But yeah, so we need to sort of understand that 5-wave structure there, which I was trying to do. I was doing it on the 2000 ticks, I think, for this. No, I wasn't. So I just have to go back to the hunt. When did I do that? Must have been on another one. Okay, we were looking at it here because I can see that we've been talking about it here, so I'm just going to clean up. Right, well, I can see that this is the A wave here, so I'll put that in there. And it's because it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, then we've got this A, B, and C here for the B wave. And this will be the C wave down here. So we've been talking about this having, you know, we need to get a classic trading levels pattern sitting on here. That's what we need to go long here. So, you know, I may be there in time, but if not, that's what you're looking for, okay? Because you've got to be careful, because now that you don't want to buy it under the level here, because, you know, it's got it as resistance. So there's, you know, it could move lower. We don't know. We need that volume support on here. We need something like this here, so where it get that first high above the level, and then we can look to go long there, so to speak, you know. We have talked about it, but that still present I think it's dragging its feet a bit. I think it's I'll do some more work on this one, on this degree of structure though. It would kind of line up with iron ore, because you know how we're tracking those 5 waves up in iron ore. But this wave 4 to wave 5 here, you know, when we look at wave 1 and wave 3 here, they're kind of reasonable lengths. Well, then we should get that. We should get that with FMG here. So I think as a longer term trade, now that we can see 5 waves up in iron ore, I think we can go for this, you know. If you want to buy below the level, that's up to you. I'm not quite sure how that will play out, but we should be pretty, if I just roughly take it, it could be taken from here perhaps, probably better, but always do the conservative thing. So yeah, we're well below our 38.2%, so that should be okay. I mean, it's still possible as an A and a B and a C wave up here, and we come back down. We are seeing selling volume here, you know, off the, you know, it's being pushed down here. This is not buying volume just yet, but we'll see. You know, I'm okay with looking at this as wave 2, by the way, and the reason for that is when I look at, well, iron ore, but I'm also seeing the same thing with nickel and copper and natural gas, and, you know, I see that commodity thing, and we're just really waiting for the US dollar to turn lower. It's still got higher to go, and it's putting pressure on there, but then when that turns, you know, the Ukraine thing as well is putting pressure on the US dollar as well. I mean, obviously there'll be money flowing out of that region into US dollars at this stage as well, I'd imagine. But that's not my expertise by any means. Okay, the Australian dollar, that's still pushing down. So if you're short in that, the idea is just to hold short. So in the bigger picture here, we've got 5 waves down here. We're looking for the A wave, the B wave, and the C wave over here. So we can look at between B and C here. We're looking for 5 waves. So we can look at this as wave 1 and 2 here. That can get us going. And wave 3 down here somewhere. We'll look at that on the intraday, and 4 and 5 for that. So if you're short, because we were shorting at above 71 and below 71, let's just move in a bit lower. So the 70 is the old low, and 70 is going to see it, you know, play around here a bit, you know, so it'll fluff around a bit and eventually find that 70 is the resistance, and mosey on down at that point. I mean, you could count this differently as well. Don't take that, you know, take it with a grain of salt. But the thing here is that we know this move here is corrective, and these look like 1s and 2s moving down. So we'll just go into the 4-hour chart. I won't go to the tick chart today. I don't think I've updated that, but there's a tick chart where we had got our trades in here, and I've just moved the stop below those, so we'll just keep it reasonably safe there. This is corrective, this little pattern in here, because I can see it's got overlapping wave structures. So this is the 70. It's going to, you know, have a little dance here, and then it'll be on its way home down on the other side of town here. So yeah, all good on that front. Alrighty, thanks for tuning in. Cheers.